Emmanuel Macron saying, a lot of you voted to support not to support my ideas, but to block the far right. To those I am beholden.
Right, and we saw Emmanuel Macron very close to tears, very emotional in his speech at the end. It's not very often that you see him that way. He was clearly relieved, probably, and he did address those who did not vote and those who voted for Marine Le Pen, stopping the crowd from booing, saying, I'm indebted to all the French, including them. And he used the word, Emmanuel Macron, you hear him talk about ambition, transformation. I want to make the planet greener, but he also used the word benevolence. And this is something he's been accused of not having enough. So he said the 5
All right,
years.
choosing his language carefully. Let's cross to Claire Pacalin on the tail end of that speech where, yeah, we saw very emotional Emmanuel Macron, as Mark was saying.
Certainly, and he was closing his eyes as the Marseillaise, the French national anthem, was sung just then by that opera singer. The crowds now are already beginning to disperse. This is not going to be a late one, I don't think, the Champ de Mars. Macron and his wife, Brigitte, have left the stage already just behind me. That speech was certainly poignant for some people in the crowd, because I did speak to people earlier who told me, yes, this was a victory, but it was a bitter one, because the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen did better than she did 5 years ago. She got closer to winning the presidency here in France. So certainly Emmanuel Macron has a lot of bridges to build over the next 5 years, and not least over the next 5 years, but over the next couple of months as we look ahead to those parliamentary elections in June.
Claire Pacalin reporting from the Champ de Mars at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. She was on a platform overseeing the crowd. Inside the crowd is Delano de Souza. Delano, how did people react to Emmanuel Macron's short and emotional speech?
It was an incredibly short speech for Emmanuel Macron, but one where he sort of reached out to everyone, even those people who didn't vote for him, those who voted for the far left, those who voted for the far right. And he said tonight he's no longer a candidate, but he's a president for all of France. He spoke about the environment once or twice during the speech, clearly reaching out to the younger population who feel that is an important issue. When the crowd started, when he mentioned Marine Le Pen and spoke about Marine Le Pen, the crowd started to boo. He immediately stopped them and said that was not called for. So Emmanuel Macron really trying to reach out to everyone tonight to unite the country, because he said the country has been divided. We saw how the far left and the far right did during the first round. So there you heard from the president.
And we have legislative elections ahead. Delano de Souza reporting from the foot of the Eiffel Tower. Our coverage